Very good evening to everyone. Welcome to the Mahipati Talks. As usual, every day we are going to have a conversation with the intellectual people. Today we have got a soft skills trainer, Mrudulata Pokala. I'm glad that now she accepted to present herself today on the topic called Art of Conversation, which is very important for everyone. Mrudulata ma'am, she's into various activities. She's a freelance trainer. She conducts a lot of training programs in various educational institutions. You can say that professional, non-professional, academic, you ask anything, she's also part of the task Telangana skill development training programs. Also, she is a part of the training programs. She is a thorough professional with 1.5 decade of extensive teaching and training experience. She has pursued her master's in public administration and she has got trained the trainer certification from Bodhi Solutions, Bangalore. The sole certified trainer from Canada Board, EFL certified trainer from Asian College of Teachers. She is a certified law of attraction trainer. She has done a certification course in pronunciation and accent from CELT. She has also done various certificate courses, helped children with learning challenges. She is an image consultant, helped many clients to improve their image and project their best impression. Mrudula is a trainer, coach, motivational speaker, life skills coach, language trainer coach, and facilitator. Phonetics trainer, a story share, having corporate experience in conducting training on topics such as leadership, teamwork, time management, business English, voice and accent training, to name a few. Conducted training at TCS and team building and time management, prepares her own modules and conducts training in a professional way. We are glad that Mudulata Pokala ma'am is ready to share her the topic called the art of conversation, which is very important. If you want to speak to anyone else, you need to know that what is the art of conversation. And now I request ma'am to go ahead to take the session on art of conversation.
Hello, sir. Thank you very much. That was a very humble introduction. Um, Hello, everyone. I'm Rudilata Pokala. Um, as already sir has introduced you to me, so I need not introduce myself again. Let us start the session. Today's topic is art of conversation. So all of us converse, or all of us have conversations every day. So how is this going to help you, or how is this going to improve your conversational skills? We'll see today, right? Before that, I want to share my screen with you.
What are you doing?
You need to unmute yourself. Madam, you're not audible. Please kindly unmute yourself. You're not audible, madam. Please kindly unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible now.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Today's topic is art of conversation. So each one of us have conversations every day. So these conversations are helpful in what way? Actually, we have conversations only to tell what we have to tell, right? Or we have something to share when we enter into a conversation. So nowadays, this essence of conversation is lost. Obviously, each one of us know the reason. I'll share you one screen with which each one of us get connected.
Can you play it in full screen, madam? F5, press F5, press F5. Full screen
F5.
on and slideshow. Yeah, correct. It's good, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Right. Most of us are able to connect with the screen, right? So many of us are able to, so most of us daily will spend time either in our phone texting or talking. So this have to be avoided, okay? When you need to have conversations. Why the essence of conversation lose when we speak to somebody on phone or when we text? When you are conversing, what is the main aim that we have is to develop a connection. It is not only sharing the information, but we have to connect with the people whenever you have a conversation. So to develop this connection, we need to have a conversation. That is, face to face conversation is more essential in today's world. uh, because whenever I travel in metro train, I see people again and again, they are busy in their phones. Nobody is having any face to face conversation or any interaction with one another, but they are busily interacting with somebody who is the other side of the phone, right? So this conversations when we have on phone, either through talking or texting, we lose the essence of the emotion. You will not be able to connect with the people using phone, or by either by texting or by talking. So the social media is the major culprit, which make us lose these conversations. So we'll move a little forward. So the ever-growing world, social media, face-to-face conversation seems to be a lost art. So no, none of us have interest in conversations nowadays, right? Most of us, we are only into texting or talking on phones, but we are not able to connect with the people emotionally. That emotional bond which we have to develop with other fellow beings is not happening with the because of the social media. So why conversation is important, or why do we start a conversation? We'll have this slide. It says WIIFM. So whenever we make a conversation, we will look for what is in for me. When you don't have essence in your conversation, you will not be listening to that particular conversation. For example, if you are not interested to learn about art of conversation, you would have not been here today, right? So when that is, you are trying to learn something, so you see some value in my talk, or in this session, in this particular session, that's why you are here, right? So whenever we strike a conversation, we will have this impression, we'll have this feeling, what is in for me. Okay, the when we are talking to the other person, you have to connect to the person. Okay, you have to give them some value out of our conversation, then only they'll be interested in conducting a conversation with you, right? And at the same time, conversation is nothing like all of us think. Most of us think that conversation is mostly talking. Okay, when we are talking, we are less listening. So conversation is not about talking alone, it is about listening. So how much ever we listen, how much ever we take in input, that is very important. How much meaningful conversations will have two persons having a meaningful conversation will have certain amount of learning. When there is no learning, then the conversation is not worth, right? You will listen to some person or you listen to some person only when you find any value in it. So each one of us, whenever we converse, we will look for what is in for me. So you have to provide, whenever you have a conversation, you need to provide a certain amount of information to the other person. Then only the other person will be interested in talking to you. And conversation is not only about talking, but also listening, and also developing a connection or a bonding or a relationship, either emotional or professional relationship. Everywhere we conduct conversations. So there are certain rules for the conversations that we should follow. That is, whenever we talk, we should talk slowly, so that the other person will be able to understand what we are trying to say. So good talkers, good conversationalists never rush into a topic. And mostly we have to hold an eye contact. That is very, very important. Whenever you converse with people, try to hold a eye contact. Like we say in communication skills also, uh, words have only 7% of importance, 38% is given to the voice and tone, and 55% is given to the body language. So body language includes eye contact, nodding your head, and if it is yes, you understand, you nod like this. If you don't understand, you nod like this. So these body language is very, very important. Showing this body language is very, very important in a conversation. We often use our hands whenever we are talking, right? You might be observing that I am using my hands to show you, to make the conversation more interesting, right? So whenever you use gestures, your conversation will be even more interesting. So, to make the conversation interesting, you need to hold eye contact, you need to use gestures, you need to use facial expressions, you need to use the movements of the head, nodding, and all, to make the conversations interesting. And notice the details. Whenever somebody is trying to converse with you, notice the details, what they are trying to say. Okay. And when you notice the details, when somebody is conversing and you notice the details, they find that really these people are listening to me, so they will try to converse in a more comfortable way. And give unique compliments, like it is really interesting. Wow, is that happened? Okay, when you speak like that, the other person will be really interested. They'll go on conversing in a comfortable way, right? And express your emotions. Okay, and this will happen only in face to face conversation, my friends. So whenever you converse, show your emotions, express your emotions when you're conversing. When we express our emotions, the other person will be able to understand what is the real essence of the conversation. Okay. And offer insights. Okay. Whenever you converse, you show insights, like in detailed description of things, and use best possible words to make your conversation very interesting. And there are certain steps that we need to follow in the conversations. Before that, I'll tell you one small instance that happened recently. Okay, before lockdown, I came from my work, and as soon as I came out of my lift, I saw a group of boys standing. Then I came outside. I saw my neighbor's son along with the group. So I asked him, who are they? Then he replied, they are my 10th class friends, auntie, and they have come to see me after 3 years. Then I said, okay, I said hello to everyone and I went inside. And after I went inside, there was a courier service man, and I came out to collect my courier, and I saw these boys happily sitting on the staircase with their own phones. Everybody had their phone in their hand and they were busy texting or talking or doing what not, I don't know, but they were all in their phones and none of them having eye contact or none of them are talking to each other. So that is the pathetic situation nowadays. Okay, whenever friends meet, they do not have conversations. They only hooked up to their phones. Okay, so this will definitely lose connection. That is, human relations get spoiled. Human relations are greatly hampered because of this problem. So try to avoid phones whenever you are in a conversation. Okay, for example, I am having a conversation with you and I am busy texting somebody or playing some game, and I am having a conversation with you like this. You will be happy if I tell, if I talk to you doing this. Will you be happy? No matter how powerful phone you have, right? So you won't be happy when the other person is not listening to you. So whenever it is time, whenever you have a conversation, keep your phone on silent aside. This shows that you are really into a conversation with the other person. We'll move a little forward. So these are do's and don'ts when we are in conversation. I have 9 pointers here. So the main pointer, the first one is, okay, first one is don't multitask. Whenever you are in a conversation, don't multitask. Like we have already discussed, don't hooked up to your phones whenever you are in a conversation, and try to avoid multitasking, like doing something else when somebody is into a serious conversation with you and you are doing something else. That shows that clearly that you are not interested in that particular conversation. So avoid that such things, and don't state your opinion. When somebody is conversing, let them finish what they are trying to say. Then you speak. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand what they are trying to say, and the essence of the conversation will be lost. So, try to not state your opinion whenever you are in a conversation. Next one is use open ended questions. So, what are open ended questions? We have two types of questions, friends. One are closed ended questions, and other are open ended questions. Whenever you're striking a conversation with somebody, okay, say you met a person and you want to know more about them, and if you ask closed ended questions, like closed ended questions, a quick review I'll give. Closed ended questions are the questions which have answer like yes or no. Okay, in that those conversations will not be able to grasp more information. So you have to use open ended questions. Open ended questions use, as we teach people in communication skills, there are five wives and one husband. That is five W questions and one H question. Okay, to remember it very well, we pointed like five wives and one husband. Okay, so five W questions. What are the five W questions that we have? What, where, when, which, who, right? And one H question is how, right? So whenever we say, we use these open-ended questions. Okay, when somebody is trying to talk and you ask, did you come in bus? Okay, either they will say yes or no. When you ask them, how did you come? Then they will have something to elaborate. Okay, so then they will enter into a conversation with you. Whenever we ask open-ended questions, we'll make the other person comfortable. They will be at ease whenever you ask open-ended questions. Otherwise, they will not have much to speak, right? And here I want to point out one more interesting things. Whenever I ask somebody, okay, whenever we go to a social gathering, I see people like they are not conversing with one another. My husband also sometimes he doesn't converse with people. Okay, then after coming home, I'll ask, why didn't you talk to anybody there? Then he simply replies, there is nothing common between them and me. So I have my own business and they do something else. So how can I be able to converse with them? Okay, this is the common opinion, or most of the people have this intention in their mind that there is nothing common between us, so we can't strike a conversation. But if something is common between the people, there is nothing much to learn, right? So I feel if there is nothing common, then there is much scope to learn. So always try to have this open mindedness whenever you start a conversation. Okay. So whenever we know that the other person uh, is not from our field, he is from some other field, you keep that intention in mind. Today I'm going to learn something new, right? So with this flow, if you go, then you can have many a things in your life. Sorry. So this sort of, whenever you have any conversation, go with the flow. That is another pointer here. Go with the flow. Going with the flow is trying to create a connection between the speech. Okay, when you start a topic, go with the flow of that topic. Don't immediately jump to another topic which props up from nowhere. Okay, so go with the topics that are related when you are having a conversation, and admit when you don't know something. Okay, you don't, whenever we have a conversation and we don't know about something the other person is trying to say, kindly you can say, I did not understand, or I don't know about it, please elaborate. Okay, then the conversation will be more interesting. The other person will think that you are not able to understand, so they will elaborate and tell you so that you can understand. And don't compare. This is a very, very bad habit that most of us have. That is, whenever somebody is conversing, they tell about something, and immediately you try to compare with the same situation that happened with you. So most of us do this knowingly or unknowingly. If somebody is telling that I happen to be having I had an accident today, and immediately you will tell that I 10 days back even I had an accident, or you will talk something which is not related, or you will say that just like that even my friend had an accident, and you will change the conversation, or you will take it to something somewhere else. So this should not happen whenever you are having a conversation. Don't compare. Each individual's experience is different. When your friend or relative or somebody is trying to share their experience through a conversation, listen to them. Don't compare about different about the same experience that you had. Okay, we feel that we are sympathizing it, but that loses the essence of the conversation. So don't try to do that, and avoid repeating whenever you're talking. Avoid Try to, whenever you're conversing, it is for us, whenever we are conversing, try not to repeat what we have already said. And whenever you're conversing, don't go into too many details. Okay, if you are conversing about something which happened maybe 3 4 years back, or in your childhood, you don't say, in my childhood, on this particular date, on this particular day, I happen to be like this. If you go into the details, people will lose the connection with you, people will lose the interest in the conversation. Now, I have a simple question for each one of you. You can answer in the chat box. Uh, this usually happens in everybody's house. Uh, Wife and husband are talking, are having a argument. Okay, imagine that wife and husband is having an argument, and the wife is having some valid points for her argument, and even the husband is having valid points for his arguments, and both of them are arguing. And as a third person, if you are you happen to be there as a third person, listening to that conversation or listening to that argument which is happening between the wife and husband. Okay, you see the solution, but they are not able to see the solution. Can you tell why they are not be able to see the solution? As a third person, we are able to see the solution, but they are not able to see the solution. So if you know the answer, Please type in the chat box. If you know the answer, please type in the chat box.
I think they are deeply involved in learning. Yeah, good evening, ma'am. Maybe poor communication. Poor communication, you see. Maipati Gayatri says that it is
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of poor communication.
Um, it is not poor communication. It is not right. Okay, let me tell you the answer. When two people, when a wife and husband are arguing and both of them have about valid points, and we are able to see the solution, but they are not able to see the solution because they are not listening to each other. They are only putting out their own conversation, their own valid points, but they are not listening to each other. When you are not listening to each other, you will not find the solution. So we have to use our ears. In a conversation, using ears are also very, very important. When we converse, when we make a conversation, try to listen. Try to listen more and more. Then you will have, you will learn more, you'll know more, you will be able to find, reach at the point more, right? So this not only happens with the wife and husband, maybe with the friends. Okay, sometimes we argue and we are, both of us will be on the same page, but we are not able to see that we are on the same page because we are not listening. So listening is also very, very important part of our conversations, right? And as we have finished with the pointers, I'll tell you one more small funny incident or funny conversation that happened between me and my son. Okay, when my son was 5 years old, I went to a party. I wore one beautiful necklace of my mom, and after coming home, my son asked me, "Give me that necklace. I want to wear it. I want to put it on and see." Then I said, "I'll give it to your bride. I'll not give it to you now, but I will definitely give it to your bride." Then he started crying even more louder. I was surprised. Why is he crying even more louder? Then I asked, "Why are you crying even more louder?" Then he replied, "You'll give this old necklace to my bride. You should give her a new one." So that's, so such conversations happen, okay, only when we converse with people. Even small children have many things to share. Okay, so conversation, striking conversation with adults is important, as well as striking conversation with kids will make you understand more and get more knowledge than conversing with somebody of your own age. Now, if you have any questions, you can type in the chat box. If you have any questions, you can ask me.
Type in the chat box, please, if you have any questions, so that we'll get response from ma'am. There's a question, ma'am. During video calls, we are
Right.
able to express.
During video calls, we will have conversations, face-to-face conversations, right? So in video calls, we have face-to-face conversations, but do we really express our emotions in video calls? Okay, most of us don't generally express our emotions on video calls, right? So maybe if you are very close to a person, you will, but in a video call you will show the best self of yours, right? So I think face to face conversations are more effective. Even video calls are also face to face conversation in a way, right? Thank you, ma'am. Any more questions? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Uh, you aptly mentioned that how to have the better conversation. We know that better conversation leads to better relationship leads to better success. Maybe on behalf of the viewers, I would like to ask a few questions. Like, whenever there is a conflict between two people when they are having a conversation, maybe because sometimes people talk and all of a sudden they get misunderstanding and they get separated. Can you tell me something that how we can overcome this?
I'm not able to hear you properly, sir. Can you repeat, sir?
Yeah, now if there is a miscommunication, how can we overcome that, madam? There is a conflict or miscommunication between wife and husband or any two persons. How
Oh,
can we overcome that?
yeah, that is only through listening to each other, sir. Whenever we have an argument, try to slow down. Try to listen what the other person is trying to say. Most of the arguments, most of the conversations will turn into an argument only when we are not listening. So when you have this habit of listening, try to give a considerate listening. Keep your ego aside. Okay, whenever we put our ego aside and listen to other person, we will definitely find a solution for any problem that we have. Maybe if it is a conversation, if it is an argument between wife and husband, or it is an argument between friends, okay, put your ego aside whenever you want to have a true conversation. Did I answer your question, sir? Yes, Sai Sharanya, we should try to understand the other person, right? This will happen only with the patient listening. So when you listen, then only you will understand. Thank you, ma'am. also very, very important. Empathy is nothing but feeling the feelings of others. Okay, being in their shoes. Okay, when you listen, then only you will put right. So having empathy is also very, very important. I hope I answered you, Gayatri.
Yeah, thank you so much, madam. I think there are no questions. Like if somebody would like to share something, they can unmute themselves and they can share so that if you have any doubts or if you would like to speak to ma'am, you can unmute yourself and you can talk to ma'am. You can stop sharing the screen, madam.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You're done.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my views on art of conversation. Thank you.
You're welcome, madam. We'll see that if somebody speaks with you, so that no, we'll try to respond to them. Okay. Thank you so much, and it was wonderful session given by ma'am. Point wise, how what are the things that you need to do, what areas that you need to focus on. I request everybody to respond. At least what you have learned or what you would like to know something. What are the areas that you would like to improve? There are different points has been mainly listening skills. Have you got and have you ever tried with the listening skills and all? Can anybody ask any questions, any queries, or else what did you learn? Question is okay, or else what you have learned also you can share. If you have doubt, you can ask. Please respond, please. I think everybody is a silent learners. What we'll do is that we'll have a small challenge now. Can I ask you, everybody, to open your switch on your videos, please? All of you, switch on your videos. Play a small activity and end this session. Yeah, all of you, switch on your videos. Yeah, switch on your
Sir, I
videos.
have a question, sir.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have a doubt that when two people get into an argument and opposite person is not listening, how should we calm them down?
Ma'am, please unmute yourself and speak. Mutulata ma'am. Unmute yourself, madam. Please unmute your microphone. Mudulata ma'am, you are not audible. Unmute your microphone. Unmute your microphone.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, Nikunj. Whenever you have a conversation or a heated argument, the other person will not be able to listen what we are telling. So give them some time. Okay. Whenever you give them some time, they will try to understand. They will try to introspect what is their point of view. Then they will try to be able to understand what your point of view. Okay, so just if the argument is getting overheated, you can leave the room, give them some time, and after some time you go and talk to them. That will be a more safe option. Hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Anyone else have got any questions? I want everybody to unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Switch on your videos. Switch on your videos. Switch on your videos, please. Just follow my instructions. You know that generally when we are in the class, if somebody shares, then we clap for them. Am I right? So in mutual world, we are there now. We're all there in the mutual now. It's a virtual world where we'll not be able to clap and make more noise and all. So what we'll do is that we'll clap in our own way. All of you switch on your videos, please. Unless otherwise, if some like you feel like not comfortable, you just follow me. Can you all show your hands, please? Can you all show your hands, please, like this? Can you all show your hands like this, please? Yeah, very good, very good. Can you all show your hands like this? Yeah. Then we'll be, instead of clapping like this, what we'll do is that we'll wave your fingers. Can you do like this, please? All of you. Do your fingers, wave your fingers like this, no? Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. Your session was wonderful. We liked it very much, and we hope that we'll be implementing the techniques which you have shared with us, no? Whenever we would like to go ahead and have a conversation, we'll go with the flow. We'll not try to obstruct. We'll not have an argument. We'll not repeat. And these are all the things which you have shared. I'm sure that no, your session will make our viewers to implement them and make their life more wonderful and more beautiful. Where we don't have any more conflicts, we have more relationships, more understanding, more happiness, more success in our life. I
Right.
thank everyone. Thank you very much. I've shared the link in the chat box. You can share and subscribe the our channel. And also every day evening 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock we are sharing the sessions, so you can attend every day. You can just join and you can attend for these sessions. And thank you, Mrudulata ma'am. She has been there with the task, and she has been there with the training various soft skills programs, right from professional students to the academics, and also with all corporate people. She is specially certified in English training programs like TESOL, TOEFL, IELTS, and we are glad that she could give us the time and she could share that what are the areas that we need to keep in our mind and make ourselves better. And also those who are listening, if you are competent enough and if you feel like sharing something, as you know that we are all undergoing this COVID, it's a new normal that we are staying at home and we are learning. If somebody is interested to share, you can always contact us, and we'll give an opportunity for you also to share, and so that we'll make others to learn. And with this, I thank everyone. Thank you very much for your patient listening and active participation. And special thanks to Mrudulata Bokala ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much. With this, will be
Thank you so much, sir.
session.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having me.